Hey y'all, it's your girl Tika the Shaw from All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts, here to give you guys a recap of All the Queen's Men from Season 4, Episode 7, entitled Trick Daddy. Madam and Concierge call a truce. Tony and Amp work to mend their relationship, and the truth behind Quincy's obsession with Babyface comes to the light. So when we see the episode, we're going to see Madam, and she has pulled up on Concierge. Raphael Damascus, you are in a bad spot, buddy. But she pulls up on him. She pulls out the blicky blade, and she basically has that blade up against his throat and kind of threatening him. He lets her know, if you were going to unalive me, you would have already done it. Both of them are really tired of the games. And so this is where they decide to have a truce. They're no longer going to be beefing. They're just going to, leave each other alone at this point. So then we're going to see Tony and Amp, and they're finally going to have that conversation. She's going to let him know how she apologizes for leaving, and he's going to let her know how badly she hurt him from leaving and basically choosing his father over her. At the end of the day, he said that he has seen women who have taken care of young men, so there is no reason why she couldn't have done the same in regards to when it came to her son. And so they're going to agree to disagree, but they're going to show love, and they're going to try to work it out with each other. Then we're seeing Blue, and she, aka Belinda, and she's in therapy. Now the therapist is just letting her know that her method is not going to work unless Blue is willing to help, or participate, I should say. But there is a method that can be used where Blue doesn't have to say anything at all, and the doctor will basically get the answers that she needs. I don't know if this lady is about to play Pictionary with Blue. I don't know what she's about to do, but I guess we're finding out on the next episode. So then we're going to see Fuego, and he has found the location to where the two guys that basically did what they did to Sandra are located, and he's trying to make some decisions as to whether or not he's going to actually go to that location. Fuego is definitely, he's distraught about this whole thing, especially what they did by graping Sandra. He's not happy about that at all. And so, of course, Big D is going to come. They're supposed to actually go to the gym and work out, but then they start talking about this restaurant that's about an hour away from where they are located, and that they should go there versus going to the gym. Now, we know why Fuego really wants to go there, because the two guys that held up and assaulted Sandra are going to be supposedly at this restaurant, and we're definitely going to see, later on the next episode. Y'all send out prayers for my boy Fuego. I hope he doesn't. This is not the next episode coming up is not his last episode, because he's going into danger zone. So then we're going to see Naima, as well as Detective Davis, as well as Dia Roz, and they let her know, hey, your bloodstream, your blood work came back, and it got PCP in your system. So basically what actually happened when Doc put that pill in her drink, everybody was thinking like, why is he doing that? That doesn't make any sense. But we see that because she tested hot on the drug test at work, basically it's going to compromise all of the work that she has done, and that is going to be including Madam's case. So then we're going to see Quincy as well as Rayshawn, and Quincy's going to receive this text message because initially Rayshawn is in there asking about trouble, but Quincy don't care nothing about trouble, so he's just saying, all of a sudden, y'all, Quincy gets this notification on his phone, and it's from the lab, basically the DNA test or the lab work that was done has come back. And he is just like, oh my goodness, okay? So then we move on, and we're going to see Madam. She's going to go make her way over to Miss Tandy, let Miss Tandy know, listen, I done told you, I need my land. I don't care what it is you got to do. I need my land. I need it to be declared eminent domain. Already, Madam is claiming this land. But Tandy is, Lily Tandy, she's just afraid. She doesn't really know how to make this happen, but Madam lets her know, I don't care how you do it, but you better make it happen. I need my land. Listen, we're gonna see if it's all gonna work. Then we got your girl Trouble. She's out in the parking lot pimping. If she ain't pimping herself, she's pimping out pills. She's doing any and everything trying to make that extra cash, since Madam has basically taken her out of the club. She can't dance anymore in the club, so now she has to hustle so she can get that rent money. She's trying to make the money that she needs, but she definitely needs to stay off the molly pop. That's all I can say in regards to Trouble. Now, we're going to see a moment where Trouble runs into Babyface, and then Babyface is teasing Trouble because she's no longer in the club. Of course, that's what he wanted all along, because Trouble was one of the biggest money makers. But anyway, she lets him know, at least I don't have some gay stalker. And he's like, what are you talking about? She says, yeah, your boy Quincy has pictures of you all in his locker. And he's always asking about you. Yeah, you got a stalker, a gay stalker. And for some reason, well, not for some reason, but Babyface is like, I'm not with that mess. So he is definitely going to investigate what's going on. But then we see Madam and her attorney, Mr. Lovett. He comes in and let her know that we've got to get to working fast on so that we can question everybody who's going to be whether it's your witness or whatever the case may be. We need to know what it is they're going to say. And Madam says basically that she has that under control. It ain't nothing that they can say. But he also says that we need to extend. I put in paperwork to have the trial extended. Therefore, we have more than enough time to get this whole thing together. Now, Blue has been missing. Blue has been out of the picture all day long, but we know that Blue has been speaking with her therapist. She's trying to cope with a lot of things, especially with her PTSD, but she's not communicating that to Madam. Madam knows is that Blue is not at work where she's supposed to be. So Madam is kind of going to look. I think Madam may think that Blue is up to no good, but hopefully this doesn't affect their relationship too bad. I don't know if Blue is just getting tired of the whole club scene. I really don't know. She seems to still be enjoying her job, but I guess we'll have to keep watching to see what's going to actually happen. So then, as Shamika comes in, she and Detective Davis are having a conversation, and Shamika lets her know, hey, there was a young lady that was a fluffer at Madam's club that allegedly peacefully went away in her home. She peacefully was unalived. And so her by the name of Vicky, y'all. Of course, that's Vicky who had got the fumes, and she was the last person they got out of there. So she probably did ingest more than what everybody else was, which is why she couldn't wake up. But they're trying to use that against Madam, of course. So then we got Babyface, and he's of course pulled up on Rayshawn, trying to ask Rayshawn which locker belongs to Quincy. And of course Rayshawn is going to be loyal to a fault. He's not going to say which one belongs to him. And of course, Babyface is going to do everything that he can to threaten him. He's just so upset because he's trying to validate what Trouble said. He wants to validate that there are pictures of him in Quincy's locker. He's just trying to really validate everything so he can, go off the right way. So then we're going to see Madam and Tommy, and they're having this conversation about this little torch that's basically used for, making the crust hard on the creme brulee. And Doc walks in and he's like, is everything good, Madam? Like, what did I do now? But she tells Tommy, go ahead and leave out because you're scaring Doc, which was hilarious. Even though Doc was not even on Tommy's mind, he was thinking about cooking as always. He's always cooking. He's a master chef. So anyway, Doc walks in and Tommy walks out, and Madam's just letting him know, thank you for what you did. That whole little situation about with the Naima, it actually worked. Now they know that her blood work had PCP in the system, which will affect all of her records and files and cases that she was working on. So Madam hands Doc this big stack of money, and he was like, "No, I don't need the money, Madam." And then she's like, "Nah, here you go anyway," because this is going to kind of keep her out of jail, so to speak. But then we're going to see Amp as well as Prego right here, aka Dime. And, he's letting her know, like, in the midst of a dance, he's letting her know, hey, I did what you suggested. I talked to my mom. We're going to try to work it out. We're going to try to, and plus I found out that she's going to be, still in town because she's gained possession of Maddie B's. And, of course, Dime is like, does Madam know that? Obviously, Madam knows it, but Dime is going, she's going to ride for Madam no matter what. She's always mentioning Madam. But then we see Rayshawn, and he's talking to Quincy, letting Quincy know, hey, bruh, Babyface knows that you got pictures of him in his locker. He is looking for you. You better be careful. He's going to wow out on you, bruh. He's just letting her know, hey, be careful because, Babyface is on one. In the meantime, Quincy's like, I'm trying to get this money. But then he does, after Rayshawn tells him what has been said, he does decide to walk away. Quincy is under some stress right now, y'all. But then Madam having her own little Diddy party, and shout out to Tommy for setting up this whole freak off for Madam. We got Madam and this whole look. Y'all just use your imagination. But she's literally giving these people sexual instructions, telling one to 69, telling the other to go ahead and pour wax. Like, Madam is doing the utmost. And in the midst of all of this, y'all, of course, Tommy, before any of that happens, Tommy's like, Madam, shall I join? And she just denying poor Tommy. So anyway, Tommy's out the room. Madam y'all see the toys, right? I'm just saying, Madam is doing her own thing. She has her own toy, and she's getting it in. Like, when you start setting up freak offs, Madam, I'm just curious. Like, this new Madam that we got for this new season, interesting. That's all I can say, y'all. Interesting. So, moving right along, we're going to see Trouble. And again, Trouble is in the parking lot trying to sell Molly and Tina. I don't know who the hell Tina is, but Molly, we already know who Molly is. And so that's what Trouble is out there in the parking lot doing. If y'all know who Tina is, y'all drop it in the comments for me, okay? Just drop it in the comments. Let me know who Tina is. So anyway, the girl is like, I don't want any of that, but I will, I don't mind, basically a VIP or a private with you. And so she's like, okay, cool. Give me your number and I'll hit you up, later on for the information or for the details. So then Rayshawn walks up and he sees Trouble and he's like, are you out here selling drugs? Are you slinging? Like, and Madam's gonna be pissed. And so she's letting him know Madam is not gonna find out unless you tell her. And at the end of the day, Trouble really is skating on thin ice because Madam sees everything. So I don't know why she doesn't think that Madam is not going to know that she's out there slinging hash in her parking lot, in her, in front of her club, especially considering the fact that the popo are on Madam's neck. She's doing too much. So then we're going to see Dime. Of course, just like everybody has been speculating, Dime is puking right now because she's definitely pregos. That's why I called her prego earlier. But she's over there puking. And after she's done puking, she's going to have a conversation with Blue. And she's just telling Blue, I think they use too much bleach. I'm just not feeling well. I think I may need to just sit down. I may need something to drink, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, Blue is like, looking at her like, are you sure you're not pregnant? Like, she hasn't said it, but she's looking at her and she's questioning her because this is not the normal Dime. She even tells Dime, why don't you go outside and get you some fresh air and I'll watch the music for you. I'll watch your spot for you. Now, I don't know if Dime, when she's up there, if not only is she DJing, is she pulling part-time security too, but Dime's Blue fits right on in. She slides right on into Dime's spot as Dime goes outside to get her some fresh air. If you don't know that you knocked up by now, that's on you, boo. So as everybody is clocking out, checking out, tipping out, dropping off their money to Dime, for some reason everybody decides to sit around. Normally they don't sit around, they just drop their money off and then they head out. But for some reason this time around it was a little bit different. Now we know that Babyface was waiting around for Quincy because he already had broken into Quincy's locker. He saw that Quincy had those pictures of him, but he didn't see Quincy's phone, which has some things that Babyface might be interested in. So Quincy walks up and Dime is just telling him, wow, you're doing really good. I'm going to have to let Madam know you're making so much money. She even mentioned on the last episode that he made more money than Babyface. And Babyface is just looking at him and calling him gay and just doing, like, getting ready. He's trying to get him riled up. But then he stands up. Babyface actually stands up and lays hands on this young man. And he's trying to explain, Quincy is trying to explain, it's not like that. It's not what you think it is. It's not that. I'm not stalking you. I'm just trying to show you basically that you my pappy, like you the daddy. And Babyface is like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And so he shows his phone. Quincy shows his phone to Midnight, and Midnight says, Babyface, you are the father. So now that the truth has been revealed, y'all, this is what with Quincy going into the locker, getting Babyface's underwear so that he can get his DNA. To those of you that read the synopsis and already knew that this was happening, salute to you. And salute to those of you that were like me and just wanted to wait and let it play out. And now we got the answer. Babyface, you are the father. He is a trick daddy. And when they say trick daddy, I believe this is one of those moments where Babyface was kicking it with somebody, getting paid to kick it with somebody, and they ended up getting pregnant. What are y'all thoughts? Drop in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the latest episode of All the Queen's Men. In the meantime, thank you guys for tapping in, tuning in, kicking it with your girl, Tika Deshawn, right here at All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. And you already know, stay ruthless.